You looking for a paycheck?
All right, findings order 5:30. Roll call. Roll call. Don? Roll call.
Donald Neckerman, present.
Brian Martin and
Melinda Dean.
John Pelletier is absent. All right, I think 2 visitors conference. Business comments, anyone?
Talking about us, me?
Well, if you'd like, you're the only one that's here. Well,
Yeah, she's coming down too. We just want to know what the progress is of smoking in the hallways. I think that was hers.
It's on the agenda.
Yeah, and also building of the little gazebo or whatever you're gonna put there. Are you doing that, or is that just gonna be another story?
do you know what she's referring to?
Yes.
Yes.
We are going to be building something. Maintenance is into it, and they're going to be taking measurements and purchasing the materials to build something.
Will it be built this summer? I
Yep.
hope so. I hope so.
Because it's an outside project, so it'll have to
Yes,
get done.
and what about the smoking underneath my window? I mean, it's terrible.
That is going to be addressed. They've got it on the agenda, but I already have the update as to what's going to take place.
Okay. And say what you have to say.
We were just trying to see what has been done since we've talked about any of the things we talked about at the last meeting. That's basically what we want to know, the smoking, doing something for the smokers to build kind of a roof out there where they sit, so that they're not in the elements. What else was it we talked about?
I already told them as far as smoking under my window
Yeah.
and having like
Yeah,
a gazebo.
just seeing if anything's been updated or taken care of, or
So smoking is on the agenda in a little bit,
okay.
all right?
Yeah, we don't need that, we just wanted to see what the updates were.
Well,
Unless you're gonna talk about it while we're right here.
we are gonna talk about it, and
Okay, I don't want to sit through the whole meeting. I don't think I can sit anyway. Oh my goodness.
all right, accept the minutes of the meeting, March 29, 2023, and I didn't see special meeting minutes attached to this. But-
It should have been one page.
Anyway,
One page, right there.
yes, I did. So, I passed out, I received an email from the secretary for the clerk, and I think because they were a record for the town, and we were there, that was our meeting as well. But this is what happened at the meeting, I'm really not sure. Pretty much says the same thing, except, I'm just saying, these are, look like nothing but clerk, and I think we should approve those.
All sworn in another.
Yes, I am. I'm official.
All right, entertain a motion to accept the March 29th, 2023 regular meeting minutes.
I'll make a motion to accept them. I'll second it.
Motion and a second, further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Abstain.
Carries
Do you need
3.
them? Do you need them?
No, it'll be 3, 301. Abstention. And then, the April 10th meeting minutes.
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes of April 10th, 2023.
Trustee,
Special meeting.
Okay. So there's a motion in a second, just discussion. Are you referring to the ones I passed out or the ones in the packet?
Another packet.
I'll make a motion to accept the minutes with it.
Please with it.
Today's question was this meeting on April 10th, 2023 at 6 p.m. The discussion was to go to the Board of Selectmen have a joint meeting.
Right.
That's what that meeting was for. This is the results of the joint meeting. Then I can motion to accept both correspondences.
Vote, is that okay with you?
Sure.
Motion and second.
I approve.
Further discussion, all in favor?
Aye.
So 3-0-1 again. You just put, you don't have to, put the email, I just couldn't print it out. So, you just. All right. Treasurer's report. Anybody?
When I went over it, but I don't have any questions on it.
Anybody else? Bob?
No.
I just have some, this is the last,
The final.
final for the month, right? So,
Here.
for the year, rather, excuse me. So, does that mean, there's a number of line items that show negative?
Mhm.
Does that mean that all those, that these line items all came in the negative? So like, the income deficit is it 38,000? Am I reading that right? Maintenance, labor and supplies, all that stuff came in the negative. Right. So what's the 38?
That's the non-routine expenses.
Okay. So am I correct in reading it like that?
Mhm.
So where is the overall budget that says the final line item? That says whether we were negative or,
So this is broken down by the programs.
correct.
So this, and then there's the total. This is what was budgeted for that line.
Right,
This is what we actually spent
I got that.
or received.
So these two total 36,000 in the negative.
Mhm.
So what I'm looking for is the overall budget. Overall, final number, the total budget is 100,000. We came under, we spent 95,000. That, I'm looking for that number. I didn't seem to think that I could find it.
No, it's-
Yes,
So this is the total. This is what it would have been. This is the actual, what was the budget was. This is what the budget was.
so we were,
The actual numbers. This is the budgeted numbers. This is the favorable or unfavorable.
so we were,
We were projected to lose that in your positive.
okay, that's net income. All right. So the total budget is 100,000.
Mhm.
99,560.
No, that's total non-routine.
Which is what?
You know, the extraordinary maintenance stuff, the equipment purchases, plus the 99.
Okay,
48 up here was the net income before those expenses. Which is the 99,000.
and that is for, this is for the 401, right?
Well, it's total, correct? It's like-
Right.
The budget is the total of all the programs.
So that's what I was asking.
The budget is, that number is, the budget is the total of all the programs. So the 4,000, the MRVP is 689, that's the total here for those three. That was the budget.
And then there's a separate one for 667, correct?
No, the 4,000 is 667 and 705. That's what the 4,000 is. 4,001 includes the Greenley, Red Pine Senior, and then the families. The 7, that's what the 4,000 makes up. And then 689 is separate, and then Margaret is.
Thought the 667 was totally program by itself, no?
It's all lumped into 4,000. The 667 and the 705 make up what they call the 4,000. 689 is separate from the 4,000, and so is the MRDP.
I have a question, Mr. Chair.
Go ahead.
On our overall budget, when is the year-end report to see what was left? I think I asked this question last meeting. At the year-end report, if we're in a deficit or anything, there's money left in some of the accounts that have to be shifted around. When is the end of the year?
This is the end of the year report.
That's the end of it right
This
there.
is the last, what March was the last month.
Okay, so all the ones that show negative, like negative 48,000, what that represents us.
So like it said here, we
It's
were,
operating reserve balance, but one above it, 2700 net income deficit. It shows 3 accounts in the deficit. Were we in the deficit with that money?
no, it just reduces down our operating reserves. So this number down here at the very bottom, operating reserves, that number was reduced by those numbers.
But is there money still in that account, in the reserve?
Yeah, we still have money.
Why doesn't it show it? That it's,
Because it's showing what we spent, then it's showing what was budgeted, so we overspent that line item. So it reduces down the operating.
so when we, which is, if it's now, on 400-1, we're starting off with $49,778. And then the next one it shows, starting off with $1,507, the next one $146.
No,
Next one.
the next line down is the operating reserve balance.
But the one above it, it says net income deficit. Deficit means we don't have money, right?
Well, that means that's the money that was lost in the year. It just reduced down the operating reserve balance. So this balance was higher at the beginning of the year.
Okay, then I guess my question, why didn't we have enough money in it? Did we overspend it? We didn't have enough money to start with.
Well, we have the money, it's just the reserves got reduced by the expenditures.
But I mean, in the regular budget, when we took it out of the reserve, what made us not have the money?
I guess the proposed, what accounts did it, were overspent? That weren't in your annual budget, which ones didn't, that they had to go into the operating reserve?
All the ones that the line items that we overspent, which is mostly maintenance and the utilities.
Materials, supplies, contract costs, right?
That falls under maintenance.
Employee benefits,
On the whole, 49. That's because the bottom of it, what? Is that our beginning balance for this year? That's my question. Since that's how we ended last year. You know what I mean?
I didn't know.
equipment purchased and capitalized. That was in the hole. So what did we purchase something that put us in the hole there?
That's this page here, but mostly the stoves, the refrigerators. It's not capitalized equipment. 'Cause
So-
it's not over a certain dollar amount.
So I'm just gonna ask this question, that does it appear that maintenance of materials, supplies, contract costs, and that line item we just talked about, which was, let's see, equipment purchases and stuff, would that be because of the extraordinary number of vacant units?
Yeah, Most of it, yeah. That's where most of the expenses go, is vacant units, contract costs, some of that falls on the.
So did we have more vacant units than normally? So we should,
We have a lot of vacant.
should we maybe look at increasing those numbers going forward?
We can, but in the maintenance area, DHCD doesn't penalize us when we overrun the maintenance line items, because they don't want maintenance stuff to stop. They want it to continue.
So I would assume, so people doing the budgeting accounts, and they know that, and so that's what they do, right? I would assume, right?
Yeah, I mean, when she looks at how we're doing throughout the year, when we do up the budget, yeah, if it needs to be increased because we're running short throughout the year, then it gets increased. As long as we also stay within the same percentages that DHCD wants us to stay in.
So when it's increased, where does the money come from? Reserves?
Well, we
If
do,
you increase something mid-year, right?
well, we'll also be increasing the income too, based on, she looks at how, what the rents are being based on too.
Does that equipment ever run not in the deficit of having to go into operating reserve? Is that annually, do you have, has this been a year that you've had more vacancies than normal?
Anybody else?
One was, like, remember the accountant Karen, she said we were in good shape. But we're showing deficits, that's my question, so if it shows a deficit, then
We're in good shape because we have the reserves to cover that stuff. It's not like we don't, that those lines are deficits and we don't have the reserves to pay for it.
okay, so there's things that show a deficit, that's what we're starting. We're gonna be minus that, like on the first item, it was a 401. We're gonna be minus that 49,778. That's taken out of the reserve.
That's taken out of this
All of
operating
it's coming
reserve
out.
balance.
So, 150,000 that we have to take out of the budget. Different budgets. You know, as a whole. So if we have to borrow $150,000 out of the reserve account to pay, because we didn't have enough money in the budget, or we overspent one or the other.
Yeah, it just comes out of the operating reserve.
But she also just said, not necessarily, because if the rents were increased, then there's more money coming in. We offset that. But not always, correct?
And the rents are gonna be increased.
No, it's if they were.
Well, they were here. We had budgeted that we were gonna collect for the year 638,000. We collected 689,000. So we were in the, we did good by 51,000 in rents. We collected more than what was budgeted.
Yeah. You know what she's saying? What page is that on?
Just the first page. The first page, so right
Yeah.
here. the
Oh,
rents.
okay.
Rents. So right here is what we total collected between programs. This is what we budgeted. Because we figure when we're doing the budget, we're doing it like in January. So we're basing it on what the monthly rents are in January. They change in April.
You understand what she's saying?
Right now I do, yes.
Anybody else? Entertain a motion to accept the accounts report for March 31st, 2023.
Make a motion to accept it.
Second. Motion and second. Further discussion? Again, seeing none, all in favor? Opposed? Unanimous. Next up, accounts payable and payroll for March 31st, 2023.
Sheriff, I have a question. Who's signing the checks right now?
Bob and myself.
So what?
Bob
John-
is,
John and you?
no, Bob signs them and then I sign them after he signs them.
Okay.
What do we got here? accounts payable and payroll for March 31st. Entertain a motion to accept.
Need a motion?
Yes,
Motion to accept the payroll.
it's payroll and payroll for March 31st.
Okay.
Uh, Is a motion, is there a second? Second. And a second. Just a quick question. Liston Sampson, I had mentioned that a few meetings ago. Can you go back, just double check their notes and make sure that we weren't double billed on anything? I know with an issue with the sewer department down in the bills. It took a little while for them to figure it out.
We got that long time.
Weston and Sampson, we had an issue with the sewer department with them, the building. It took a little while to figure it out, so I was asking them to go back and just double check and make sure, because some of the bills, that's all. All right, anybody got anything else? All right, all in favor? Opposed? Unanimous. Expansion fund. Entertain a motion to accept.
I'll make a motion to accept the expansion fund. That's presented.
Motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing seen none, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Unanimous. All right, correspondence. Board of Health order and closeout letter.
The chair received, we had an issue and it was resolved. Is that correct?
Yes.
Well, my own question was, what was it caused by? We found out, like caulking in the window or what?
For ventilation. So, when the construction advisor from the state came out, he advised us to put in a new, in the hallway upstairs, it's like a quiet whisper, but they can't shut it off when it senses moisture and when it comes on, to get a lot of humidity in the unit itself.
And this was, this was in the ambulance. So that's in the hallway, is in
So it's on the second floor in the hallway.
on a thermostat or something like
Yeah,
that?
if it senses moisture, it comes on.
Yep.
They can't shut it off or turn it on themselves.
And how long is this going with thing going on?
They just reported it.
On the date of this?
But everything that was buttoned up too, and we had all these buildings.
So they just reported it on 3/9? Can you, send me a copy of the last two inspection reports for this unit?
Or unit,
Yes.
it's a new unit, they just moved in, so they've only been there 2 years.
So,
Other questions, Chair?
Yeah.
I talked to Executive Director, when was the last time that room was inspected by the Tyngsborough Hospital? Or by somebody else?
I'd have to go back and look when it was.
Is that?
I'd have to look and see when that one was done.
Sure.
so that's what I just asked for, so you can just send that to all of us, I guess.
Are they routine inspections?
It's supposed to be done yearly, but it was a gap during COVID, I don't know.
Same with the fire and smoke detectors, that's what that is.
But I would think those all get done when they do the annual inspections, except for the fire alarm systems, right, that's separate.
Yeah, company comes in and does the fire alarms.
Are they humidifiers? Do you have humidifiers and the HVAC systems and all?
We probably don't have folks like 80 units, right?
No, it's gas.
Maybe,
It's supposed to have water.
Okay.
we need call them 689s, do they have folks like 80 units with AC?
Yes.
So those would be the only ones that we could have. All right.
We can make a motion, Mr. Chair, to accept the Board of Health correspondence. As written.
There's a motion, and is there a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? Hearing seen none, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Unanimous.
Chair, I'd like to make a motion to accept the McValley Housing
He's
Report.
asking if there's any official vote made.
At this meeting?
I see you didn't read his email this morning.
I did not. So the answer to the question is yes.
Or the question.
Was there any official votes
And
taken?
the dog ate the other two, so.
Were there any official votes taken? So the answer is yes.
And he's regarding the CPC.
Oh, no, we didn't get that far.
So he's at the meeting tonight. So he is asking the board what if there would be, how he should vote on that note. He would like to ask at our meeting, am I asking the commissioners their opinion? Do you want me to vote in favor of supporting the 1.5 million in CPC funds or not in favor?
Oh, that is,
That's what he's at tonight. Yeah.
What do we have to do with that?
well, we have, John sits on that board as a,
Oh,
as a member of the housing authority.
And I think maybe why he sent it is, we spent some money on Colburn Road, at the land survey. We received a grant from the state, and then we had money put aside for community preservation efforts.
Okay.
And I think John felt that because we had asked for money from the Community Preservation Act before to help us on that project, and how we felt about, so I replied that when it comes to town meeting, I'm going to vote, and it's not going to come out of there, it's already put aside for us, if we need to come wrong. But I said, it's my opinion, and not a vote, it's my opinion, that I would like to see us keep the original part of the Winslow School, so we can button it up and then move it to a site and probably use that site for the building safety complex.
So I'm just
Advantages to that meeting.
I'm just gonna ask real quick, if we can go to item 11A, which is a CPC, maybe we can have this discussion, and then we can let John know. So if there's no objection, you get that? Okay. All right, so let's continue this discussion. And that's what it's all about, right? It's,
Yeah, that's what his whole thing is tonight, is that they called that a CPC meeting because they have to make their votes for the town meeting.
so my thing would be, as long as, I don't think it will affect the pot of funds that would be for housing. So in that respect, I don't think it's a problem if he votes in favor. I really doesn't matter one way or the other which way he votes.
It's a big level.
Anybody?
No.
So, yeah, just send him that, as long as the, lot of money that affects housing, we don't have an opinion.
Again, it's not a vote, it's an opinion.
Right.
Anybody have a question?
And that was my response to him in the emails.
I didn't see it,
Was
so,
any of the housing money going to be touched? And he said it was going to be general and historic funds.
so I got the, perfect. So we're all on the same page there, that's good. All right. All right, so get back to the agenda. Mac Valley Housing Report.
Accept it as presented.
Motion in a second. Second for discussion. Unanimous. Oh, this goes with the, yeah, it goes up with the, Okay. DHCD tenant satisfaction survey results from the fall of 2022 and the DHC tenant satisfaction in the fall of 2016-17.
I put the previous ones in there so there could be a comparison, because I saw an improvement.
Why did they send us
Why did they send it?
the correspondence?
So that the board's aware of what the surveys were that were sent out, the results.
Did we accept these before, like 2 years ago, really?
Yeah, they've been.
I remember seeing something, I don't know how many years. I remember seeing them at least once.
Well, considering this one was summary of 16 through 18, and now this one's 22, so they skipped 4 years.
And the purpose of it is because of evaluation purposes or what?
For, I guess, for everybody to get a feel of what is being, how the tenants feel about their units and maintenance and staff and everything.
I mean, I know as a commissioner, I feel so. There's some things that people, sometimes people get scared, but if that's what it is, that's what it is. But as a commissioner, issues that I received from tenants, probably issues that DHCD never seen, although I know that's a few of DHCD didn't know about, so.
It doesn't really say what the purpose is that I can see. Anybody? All right, entertain a motion to accept the correspondence with DHCD survey of fall 2022. We don't need to do the 16, 17, 18, we thought we already did that.
I don't think, well, you just sent it before.
So 2022. Motion is second. Any further discussion? Hearing and seeing none, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? And then, PHM 2023 03 wage match statement.
So this is something we've always have done. Now they're sending it out for the boards to review. And then there is a form that has to be signed by the chairman. I guess they're just wanting to make the boards more accountable for the stuff that is being done in the housing. But this has been done every year.
Repeat that again, please.
So this wage match has always been done. Now they're sending it out and wanting the boards to review this document and sign, and the chairman has to sign that it has been reviewed. They're
Reviewed or
making-
received?
Received, reviewed, they're making more aware of the kind of things that we're doing that DHC is requiring us to do.
No,
So,
we don't.
on, well, it's page 2 of the public housing notice, guidelines for use of wage match and annual certification requirements. Can you just give a brief overview of what that is? Like, first off, my first question would be, what is the wage match? What does that
So
mean?
every year we do annual rent determination where everybody supplies their income to us.
Yeah.
So there's also a form that they sign that's, verifying their social security, verifying that we're going to be doing this wage match. So their information is into the state website, their social security number, they run it, and then they send a report back that shows any income, wages that they have earned. And then we verify if they reported that, if not, it's considered fraud.
So wage match meaning
Tenants.
the tenants, exactly.
Tenants.
So meaning,
Making sure that they're not, committing fraud to the housing authority. Reporting in.
social security, benefits, that type of stuff.
Social security doesn't pick up.
Pension, just wages.
Just wages, not pensions or social security. Actual earned wages.
So if they, go ahead.
They have to provide documentation anyway of any of the deductions and that type of.
Right, they have to supply it, but the state is concerned of fraud, people committing fraud, so this is a way to find out if they are reporting their earned income. Because their rent's based on their income, so if that income's coming in, we're entitled to our percentage for the rent.
Chair, I have a question.
Yep, go ahead.
On the last page, executive directors / board of approval regarding wage match B2. Request of reference information provided through wage match. Executive director report, director / board approval. Percentage below indicates they have read and understood the concept of public housing notice 2023-03 for March and 2016 to 19. It indicates the authorized employees of the housing authority have read and signed. If all our employees read it, then number one is the wage match acknowledgements regarding confidential information, Department of Revenue disclosure, and security training and safeguarding information, and your authority has these signed acknowledgements on file. Please note acknowledgements include the summary. I guess my question is, have all our employees signed this? Like the Diane's and the...
Because they don't do it, I do it. I run the report from
But I
our
mean,
software and download it to the state.
So you sign it, you and the chair and the chair. But we
Because
don't
it says
have.
up at the top, along with the list of all employees authorized to request and receive the information.
All employees, so that's all the employees that work for the people housing authority.
But if they're not doing the report, they don't need to
They
understand
would
it.
be authorized.
But I mean, they're telling us one thing here, we're not doing it. They read it, they understand it. Because
But I think they're right, what they're referring to all employees is because up at the top it says to send along with a list of all employees authorized to request. So if there's more than one person that's authorized to request this information, they would have to read this. That's why they're referring to all employees.
But for you are the one who does sends all the information, he puts everything it does.
Right, the
But yeah.
computer software that has all the
Are you
tenant information.
are you the sole person that sees this information?
I review it and check their recertification.
So the secretary doesn't see you doing any filing or anything like that?
I mean, she might see it during filing, but she's not reviewing the report to submit to them that they've committed fraud.
She has no input.
Well, but she should be, she should be aware of the confidentiality requirements, which might be something different.
But she's not requesting. Secretary would be requesting.
Right.
I know she'd be receiving only because she'd be filing, but
She'll, be filing, but she's not actually submitting the information or.
she isn't the authorized to request from any of the tenants.
Correct. Do you have,
my question, what's an authorized employee?
We can do everything.
Just for the record,
that's fine.
just for the record.
All right, so entertain a motion to accept correspondence with DHCD regarding wage match for state housing program tenants.
make a motion to accept the DHCD wage match for the state housing document.
I'll second it.
Motion and a second, further discussion? Aye. Opposed, unanimous. Sorry about that. Little delay. All right, so on to the vacancy report. I have a question. It just came to my head. Can we get one for the,
This only shows the vacant units.
right, how many vacant units there were for the budgetary year? To run a report like that, I don't even know.
I might have to run it from the reporting that's done to DHCD on the vacancies, because this comes from the software for the actual units here. So that's only gonna, I don't think I can show, this only's gonna show the open current vacant units, so I have to see if I can do it through the DHCD software.
I only, that would just to bounce up against the budget thing, that's all. It's the only reason I was, just a thought, just popped in the mind, little feedback.
Chair, I have a question for that director. When we show deficits, the admin has been doing because we want turning over the departments quick enough. No,
No, it's just,
Thank you.
it just has to do with the work that has to be done in the apartments.
Sometimes certain units take longer than others, that's all.
was that,
Certain units take longer than others sometimes.
and that's why I was asking the question, is something take longer, rather than going to deficit, we pay somebody to fix them, somebody can move in. That's the reason I asked.
All right, should we take a motion, accept the vacancy report?
I think fair if we went over the capital projects, what I remember. And which gets back to, congratulations on being on our flood. You know, we talked before the meeting, on the official thing.
Thank you so much.
The number 3 here was capital projects, which are big bucks, there's like tying in
Yeah,
storage,
just
there's
reading that, yeah.
fire alarm systems, there's 5 big sized projects that we're receiving money from HED
Dawn,
and from RCAT. So it's good stuff that's going to be happening.
That's what's happening in process now or anticipated
so,
for next
Those are
year?
the ones that are, well, yeah, they're getting started for this year.
So, am I off track here? We voting on the vacancy report?
yes, we need to vote on the vacancy.
Okay,
I
let me make a
believe,
motion to accept the vacancy report.
And again,
is there a
they have
second?
to speak louder because I thought we're voting on all the executive director.
Oh, no, we haven't even gotten that far, we have the
You're gonna
vacancy
speak
report.
up.
Okay,
It was a 2-card, one of those.
I'm sorry, Don, I'll speak up. All right, item, all in favor of the vacancy report?
Yes.
Aye. Opposed, unanimous, okay. Maintenance report. Any questions on the maintenance report? All right, entertain a motion to accept the vacancy report. Second. Motion and a second, further discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed, unanimous. Don, you made that motion, right?
Yep.
Okay. All right, finished business, discussion on the Board of Health information, vote and approve the 24 budget, so that stuff is all done. Unfinished business, executive, well, how did we get to,
How did we miss the capital?
where's the executive director? Did I read by it? Oh,
No,
item
no.
6. Okay. All right, so why don't you go through
we covered the vacancy of the work orders, so yes, the capital improvement project, we have 5 upcoming projects. Obviously to connect Friendly Terrace to sewer, and we're still waiting to hear back on that. I mean, the DHCD person came out. The fire panel upgrades for all 3 developments. The last I heard is that, yes, they've sent the RFQ out to an architect to get that person on board. The 3rd project, which now has been incorporated with the 5th project, because DHCD decided to combine it, is to replace the front and back doors for the older family units, and then replace all their bulkheads. They just got sent out the email today to combine those 2 projects into one big project. And then the 4th project, which Arcad is handling, they were out yesterday to review the project, and that is there, the community room, the slider, the patio that's out there. The patio has sunk, and when it rains, water leaks into the basement, so they're gonna remove the tree that's between the 2 buildings, because all the roots are going underneath it, pour a new patio, and put in a new slider, because one of the doors you can't even open it.
Where's the gazebo in this?
There's no gazebo.
There is no gazebo, there's not going to be a gazebo.
No.
Okay.
Are you talking about what the tenants were talking about
Yeah.
earlier?
Oh, they're talking out here, the smoking area.
Yeah.
A roof thing to be put over where the 2 benches are where they smoke.
So is that not part of the cap?
That's not, the capital improvement projects is the bigger projects that get submitted to the state where we use the formula funding, the award money that they give us every year to spend on capital projects.
Do we ever use the vote to do any, like the gazebo, for example?
Did in the past, and I think COVID kind of
Yeah.
put things up. I don't know if it's fully.
Because I know they all do projects.
It was talked about using them if we got the Indian Lane house, to have them come in, you know, their electrical, their plumbing people, probably some of their carpentry people.
So those types of projects, at Greater Lowell, those are difficult because they have to, the teachers have to write a lesson plan and do the whole 9 yards, bringing kids out. So small projects like what's going on outside here, the gazebo, those types of things are more easily achievable through Greater Lowell than a bigger project like Indian Lane.
The reason I ask is I saw all the announcements from Greater Lowell that they're gonna have all kinds of programs in the summer. They've got a welding program, they've got an electrical program, it's gonna be, I forget how many hours that are involved, so that they may be looking for things to do with these.
So that sounds like something new, right?
Yes,
Is it the students or is it for?
it's some kind of summer program with the students.
Okay.
That, you know, if they're, like, I think that it's.
Or is it a
sort of
summer program for like students who would be like in the middle school that are gonna be maybe potentially thinking of going there, they can go in the summer and try out
I
some of
don't
the
believe, I think
programs.
the ages were old, they had to have a high school diploma or GED
Oh, okay.
on all of them. And I think that, it's an extension of their after dark program, I believe, which has worked very well, where kids are going from like Old High and even Drake had it, and they're going after school as opposed to doing a recreational thing. And they're taking welding, or they're taking plumbing, whatever courses are available. Well, they're going to have, I know they have an electrical, I know they have welding, and then I sort of dozed off. There may be others. So, but I know they're going to have summer programs. So that just might be something that we'll possibly look into.
I could make a phone call and get some information.
Yes, I don't know what.
Some people out there still like me.
Oh, good to know. Okay, sorry.
So we asked the director to look into if there are programs that could help us.
If you could get back to the director, if you could call someone and have them get in touch with the director.
Yeah, well, we'll find out what the program is,
Yeah.
if there's any fitting
Yeah.
in.
Yeah.
You check for CETA and his staff.
Yeah, but Now, and they still have those going, I mean, I was amazed at the jobs in Rome, these jobs that they've got, but, this was something I have never seen before from the book, programs. And to the point that they're going to be almost ready for their journeyman 3.
Yeah.
So it's something that's great for anybody that's interested, you know, you just have to have a
Stephen Arthur
GED.
might even know.
I would think
Oh,
so.
yeah, he definitely,
Well, it's on that, but
So I just heard about it. Came up.
they're
That's the
time,
type of thing they might be able to do.
they're time.
So whatever procedure I have to, I should make now to look into that.
all right, are you good?
Yeah, I mean, the rest of it's on the accountant's contract, which is in the board packet, and then the rest of it was regarding some of the things that were said at the last meeting are the responses to my evaluation.
Anybody, questions, comments?
I thought that compared to the previous year, that I thought the representative from the Compton, this on us so well.
We're on, are you talking about no, we're on the executive deputy's evaluation response, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I think on item number 6, I think we should meet special session with the full board, and everybody has notes from the clear year. I'll dig up my notes, in here, Director Field, Director being threatened, the thing that they have done listening to your threats about not renewing my contract. I never threatened it. I like, and again, I like to have names on this one, who said what. With backup, there's documentation here that says pictures weren't taken, like, you know, who said something, the pictures weren't taken? Whether it's me, Bob, Brian, John, then we sit down and then I'll bring on a correspondence that was sent to me by the tenants, and we'll line it up. That's it, so
So,
I didn't reply on so many, I did reply in some years to my thoughts on evaluation, but nothing was done about it. This year I didn't put any thought because it wasn't done the year before. So I'll bring as much documentation as you want, we'll put it here. Deal the cards out, everybody has a turn, we'll go from there. But when it goes to he said, she did, I want to see names, if I offended somebody. I want to know why. And if I have to apologize to somebody, I will. If not, I want to know who did. The paper game doesn't work. We need to have a meeting, I bring facts,
So I actually don't have a problem with that, Tom. If you want to do that, I'm okay with that. I was going to suggest that the director reach out to each board member individually and have a conversation and stop sending
That works too.
this stuff. And this stuff, it's just that I get. I don't even know what to say about it. It goes back from when I first got on this board. One night I got an email that I wasn't even home from the meeting yet, and it was just, I don't want to get into the particulars, it's just foolish stuff, and I don't think you think before you put something in writing. I don't understand how you can think that this is professional. So I'll be happy to do what Dawn said, sit down and have a conversation with you. I'll do it separately. It's just mind-boggling to me. I've never seen anything like this in my life. It's my opinion. Anybody else?
What What is the main event? What's your main criticism?
What, did you read that?
Yeah.
You think that's professional?
I think we've gone through a lot of bullshit around here for the last 6 months or 8 months too. That isn't very professional. And I think it's gotta come to an end.
You're right, I totally agree with that.
Okay.
But we keep getting, our job as Board of Commissioners, right, is to evaluate the executive director. That's our job, all right? And if we don't feel that that's happening, then that's what we do, that's what we're here for.
Okay. And, all right, and I'm gonna make a suggestion, right? And we gotta come down with a set of rules and regulations, item by item, what you expect her to do. The other thing too is she's handling people, okay? So she has her own interface with them, on and on. And here again, we're stuck because we're not involved in day-to-day operations. We're not supposed to be, okay? But there's a lot of bull that goes around all the time, and I'm hearing lots of stories going around about this, that, and the other thing, okay? I think I think the board has to bring all participants that's been involved in this craft session together one time. We're gonna sit down, and we're gonna organize, and we're gonna make peace. Okay?
This isn't not about making peace, Bob. This is about being professional and doing what's appropriate.
Well, that's professional because you're gonna have to sit down and make the rules and regulations that's going on.
There are rules and regulations, policies in place.
That's right, and it's her job to take and do it and enforce them.
And
Okay?
it's our job to make sure that she's doing it appropriate. Correct?
How do you judge that?
Tell me what?
How do we judge that?
How do you judge that? How do you judge if what she says to an employee is,
I'm not
So
talking
that's why I
about,
said we're getting, we talk about, you wanna do it individually, I'm fine, but I'll leave an office to sit on to.
two documents that she sent.
Diana to take notes. I don't care how you wanna do it.
You tell me
All I
that
know
those
is when a resident of this town sends me notice, I have a problem with it. And if
I mean, this has been going on for a whole year, I'm sick of it. Gotta come to an end.
I'm with you. It's gotta come to an end.
Gotta
But
come
it's
to an
not
end.
coming to an end, Bob, when you continually get things like this. When the director accuses you of open meeting law violations that don't occur. When the executive director watches you on camera and accuses you of an open meeting law, like, that's just not okay. You know, you think that's okay? After a meeting, we go outside, we have a conversation about anything. And she's telling us it's an open meeting law violation? You probably weren't on the board then. So you don't know everything that's going on.
That was 3 years ago, and that was Corey that did
You're
that.
blaming Corey.
Because
You
Corey-
went on the camera, not Corey.
Because I was asked by Corey
I'm
to
not-
check who was outside talking. He
I'm
was
not gonna,
chair.
I'm not gonna get into a debate. I'd be happy to do what Don said, we'll sit down in a meeting, and hash it all out. You can do it individually, but something's gotta give. It doesn't, everything that I put in my evaluation, you confirm by doing this and doing these responses. I'm like, so that's my thoughts. Anybody else?
I'm confused. I assume when you do a performance evaluation,
Yeah.
there's criteria for
Yeah.
her job description.
Yes, correct.
Does she meet the criteria?
So you-
And to what level does she meet the criteria? That's what a performance evaluation is.
So those are legitimate questions, and they're in the performance evaluation. The answers are in the evaluation,
Okay. Okay.
right? I know that we should, if you're gonna be part of the discussion, you probably should see it,
Well, I don't
So
need
you
to
know-
be part, just getting,
so you
I didn't
know.
know if there were, the way she was said, this, I just read this, and it said, I have not presented my goals, I assume that's in the performance,
Correct.
that she says that this, I wanna do X, Y, and Z, I wanna build a
Yeah, so
gazebo, I
that's
wanna
what
have a
it's-
tenant, whatever it is,
Right.
I assume that would be in there.
Correct.
Okay, okay, I got it in my head.
And the one thing that sheet isn't helping things out here. I mean, the evaluation forms probably 20 years old, 15, 20 years old. So there's a gap between 1 and 5. There's no in between. It's either yes or no. And in life, there are a lot of areas that are between that 1 and 5. You know what I'm saying? So, and then we even heard from the accountant that other people don't do evaluations, so on and so forth. So it's, I mean, if I have an evaluation for somebody, they say, this is one I'm not happy with.
Yeah.
All right? That, for whatever X, Y, and Z, and that should be enough to, you know, and I've even said at times, this came in, I'm not happy with it, it's going to be talked about, it's going to be brought up when the evaluation time comes. So that's, you get bad grades, also, that's how you get bad grades. You do a lot of good things, you get a lot of good things. There are some things that I've been good, like this capital stuff, there's 5 things, but because some of the areas from tenant to that guy aren't good, it wasn't handled professionally. That's why I say I'm going to bring as much documentation as want.
Mhm.
And again, I'm not supposed to get involved day to day, but if you receive an email from somebody, then what are you going to do?
So, I guess.
They want to handle it.
I guess the ball will be in your court. I'll leave it up to you. If you want to contact people individually, you want to have sit down and have a special meeting, it's up to you. And I don't care what way you handle it. So think about it, let us know, and if we have to schedule a meeting again. All right?
And
Do you want, should we wait till John's here, so we ask him how he wants to do it, so we should, or do you just want, we ask an executive director, how do you want to set it?
Well, if she comes up with one of those 2 things that she'd like to do, we'll just let John know what's going on.
All right, and it's,
Because I don't want to.
and it's good, but you should bring a third party, want to be tied up somebody else.
I don't want to, I'd like to get it settled, I really don't want to push it through, but if you want to wait till John,
So we're gonna table this until we hear from the executive director, is that what we're doing?
that's what is that okay with you? Yeah, okay.
All right,
And I would think I wouldn't differentiate, I wasn't involved in the evaluation, so I really.
lucky.
Yeah, I get a pass on this one, so I think probably I should choose one way or the other, I don't know what the criteria was.
All right, moving on, Affordable Housing Trust Committee update. That would be John, but we do not have a rep, right?
Well, that was set, but last time he had mentioned they hadn't had any meetings, so.
So we need to, that'll be on the agenda for the next meeting, we need to. Put
And also
somebody
the
on that committee.
organization will be next meeting.
Update discussion, future housing for Coben Road or Indian Lane, anything?
Indian Lane was falling under affordable housing, and Coben Road was done.
Have you heard anything on Coben Road?
No,
Okay.
no, but we should fill in, I'm not going to. There were 2, there's a duplex on Copeland Road, it's our property, that we released. And behind that, there's, I forget how many acres, it was 8 acres, probably like 4 acres are gonna be built on, right? And we had, help from Mass Partnerships come in and did a survey, they surveyed all the land, they paid for that grant, so on and so forth. There's some CPC money put aside in case we need it for legal fees, so on and so forth. So our thought was at the time, if maybe going back a year ago, that knowing that a new governor was gonna come, and then money might come up, then we'd bring it up again. So right now, it's what's the chapter that's over there now, what,
689.
like 689, so we could probably do that, we could probably put 689 people behind that. But to change it, whether it be for veterans, or it be for elderly, so on and so forth, we could do it right now, just to continue, if we want to do a separate thing.
Mhm.
Then we need more funding for it, you know what I mean?
Okay.
And we need funding for it anyway,
Yeah,
but I mean, it'd be simpler to go with what we have now.
yeah.
So, there's a need for all sorts of housing, so
Oh.
hopefully we can govern at some point, but to answer your question, no, I don't have the answers. I don't need money yet.
Come on, tell you
We
about,
can all move into
You have any money?
to the enclave affordable housing when this is gonna go.
All right, new business, vote to approve Fenton Etwell and Associates BC new contract according to services contract for accounting services 4/1/2023 to 3/31/2024. Anyone? Questions, comments?
Going back to, we should probably brief, do not go on Indian Lane. When Mass Highway, we did the intersection, so on and so forth, we purchased a house right across from
The Forge,
where?
the Forge.
Right, Eleanor Forge. So, since then, we were waiting for the state to turn the property over to us, and this went on for 2-3 years. We still don't have it. So then the board decided to let it go to the Affordable Housing Committee, is that what it is?
Yes.
And it's sitting at the Affordable Housing Committee now, which we need a representative for, so if we want to something like that.
So the state was supposed to, turn it over to the town, I believe, the
And
town,
it goes about grass too,
and they, so if that never happened, so we finally said thanks, but no thanks. And now I guess it came up on the discussion under the Affordable Housing Trust Committee, so we have a rep on that board.
Right, and that, I would think that would come into, on your CPC money you'd need, wouldn't you, a matching?
Possible.
Well, it's a different, it could, but it's a different committee than CPC.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, yeah,
Affordable Housing.
yeah, yeah. Okay.
All right, moving on to the accountant's contract.
I spoke about it to him, but I thought the presentation was better this year than last year. It went a lot better. So,
With the
but
accountant,
I wish we would have known ahead of time that the contract was coming up. So we could have had discussion rather than before, rather than now.
well, we can, there's no reason why we can't hold this off and ask them to come in at our next meeting. But they did the last time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Are there specific questions that you all have? The accountant? Has there been a problem, I guess, I mean,
Just with,
the accountant?
yes.
Oh, okay.
There doesn't appear to be any issues with the work, but I would like to either find somebody new or have them come in and, like they did the last time, and speak to us and maybe get it different.
Do we put this out to bid or not?
No, it's like, yeah, no, I don't know why we don't do it, but do you know the answer to that?
Because there's only certain, DHCD has the list of who accounting firms we can use. Because they have to be DHCD approved.
So they must vet them through state bidding process, I would assume.
I'll read
Right.
that.
But they also do the accounting that the state wants.
Right.
And there's only so many out there, and some of them aren't taking on new clients, and some are retiring, so they're gonna not even be in the pool anymore.
I'm sure they'll find new
Hopefully,
ones.
hopefully.
Well, if there's an issue, wouldn't you want to look to see who's out there? That's something you do.
Yeah, that would be my,
I would think you'd want to bid it. You know, it never does anybody harm. To see who's out there. There may be 3 or 4 new ones that have come along that everybody would want there.
do you know?
You'd have to know with the pool. We'd have to see
We
the
have to
pool.
pick somebody from a list, is that how that works?
Yeah.
We'd need to see the pool, I would think. We'd have to choose.
Do you have a list?
I know I do have it in the office, I don't know if I have it
You
here.
probably wouldn't have it.
I think it's in the office, I have it in the office, because I have the list from them. Oh, actually, I do have it too. Those are the ones that are approved by DHCD.
And what would we do, reach out to each one of these and
Now, is that something that would make a motion for you to send a letter of requesting applications or?
I'm not really sure how this works, but I know that, last year we asked them to come in, and they came in and we told them what was going on, and they, based on the conversation we had, we voted to renew for another year. So, I don't particularly care for what happened at the last meeting, so I think that we should look elsewhere. Well, 2 meetings ago, I think it was.
And, I think being after the fact is pushing us in a corner, because if we say we're going off the bid, then we're going to run out of company.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
When does this contract end?
It ended March 31st,
Oh.
but you have to give them a 90-day notice that you're not renewing.
Yeah, but not, it expired. It's not that we're not renewing, it's expired.
Well, why don't we have them come in then, if there's still some issues? Is that a problem to have them come in and be on the agenda?
No, I don't think so. I think that's totally appropriate.
Okay. Can I make a motion to have them come in at the next meeting?
You can. I'll second it.
And let's see what they have to say.
Is there a motion and a second? Is there any further discussion?
Do we not, I don't know the exact issue, but yeah, I think it's time.
Who
I think
would,
it's too late
who would be
behind
the
something.
representative for that? Who would come in?
It was the owners. I'm not sure who they were.
That's Ewall and
It
Associates.
was Teresa Ewald that came the last time.
Okay. I mean, I assume we're not the only ones that have had issues.
I don't know, just 2 years in a row at budget time, we had, an issue with the employee, with some questions regarding some members.
We get rid of her.
Well,
Well, if we maintain them, just ask for another representative.
that is just a good idea.
But there's her and that woman that was here. There was a woman, like a boss, that came and apologized once in court, but I think there's only a couple involved. Could be one involved, I think. I don't think they have a large office.
All
You
right,
know, Melinda, how many in their office? They're a large firm?
I want to say, based on what she's saying, I think there's 3, maybe 4 other people. I know there's a secretary, and then there's the boss. Then there's the one that comes out to us, and then there's 2, if not 3 other people that go out to clients.
I think Bob's suggestion was good.
all right. So moving on.
So that is, did I make a motion?
Yeah, did we take a vote on that?
Track of-
No.
So, all in favor?
I,
Opposed? Unanimous?
Okay, they're gonna come in.
Yes. B, year-end certificate and board signature certifying the forms to be submitted to GHD with year-end financials.
So the
Is that-
next.
Go ahead.
So the next forms, all of the stuff that's in your packet are the forms. I have the originals that have to be signed. Because these, when I submit the year-end financials, these forms have to go in with them.
And that's all these 1, 2, and 3.
Yep.
All right. So we'll just do that at the end, is that all right with everyone?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, I asked this to be put on discussion on video cameras. The reason I asked for that was because a couple of meetings back over at Brimley, I overheard some tenants talking when I was walking in about new cameras being put in. And they felt uneasy that people were watching them all the time. So I just thought that maybe we should have a discussion, and I don't know if there's a policy that how or when we look at cameras. I'm thinking that, we should only look at them when need be, right? So, and that would be if, there's I'm thinking if there's like an accident or something like that, or if requested by law enforcement, if they're looking for somebody, something like that. That way it puts everybody at ease and, nobody's, they don't have to worry about being watched on a daily basis.
Who has access to the camera?
I believe it's just you.
Just the director?
So just my thoughts. I don't know, do we have a policy on that? I wouldn't think so. We might have.
No, I don't have a policy.
So,
But they're also put in not only for the security, but they're also, that's how you catch the people who have the extra overnight guests above and beyond what it states in their lease. That's how you also catch more fraud of unreported income.
so, and when would you go, or how would you know to go look at that?
If someone reports to me they've seen someone, or if I periodically go on and see the same vehicle parked in the parking lot every single night for a period of time, that would tell you that there's somebody staying here,
So what's the lease say about overnight guests?
21 nights a year.
Chair, I'd like to make a motion that we review the camera policy. If we don't have a camera policy, we make one.
Okay. Do we want to make there's a motion on the floor. Is there a second?
I'll second that.
There's a motion and a second. Any
I always think
further discussion?
yeah,
All in
anything
favor?
to clarify things, so that there isn't gray area, and people know, send it out, this is what the policy is, and or we meet and we come up with it, so the tenants can come and have input. If they have issues with it, then we want to know what their issue is.
Maybe we could put this is my next question, a subcommittee together. And part of that is they can meet with the tenants and get some input and feedback on what to do.
Yeah, because they're the ones that are affected really by it.
Right.
So,
And Mr. Chair, for me, there was other issues that our personnel will be watched on camera.
oh,
So that's why we need a policy.
well, that's why I asked who had access. Who would be watching the personnel? You wasn't. Okay.
You have a right to monitor the personnel.
It'll all be part of the policy.
And we're not guessing, and we have a policy.
Then we know, right? When you can, when you can't. What's appropriate, what's not.
Yeah, I think that's good.
All right. All in favor?
Alright.
Opposed? Do we want to make a subcommittee for that, or do we want to do it as part of the full board?
How would you want it, what would you want to accomplish by a subcommittee?
So maybe meet with the tenants or residents here and at Brimley and get some input from them. See if there's employees involved, maybe get some input from employees.
Like, camera issues, period?
Yeah, and then see what we, about, whatever, some bullet points of what we should put in the policy, what we shouldn't. I mean, I'm not saying we're gonna do this in a day, but obviously it's gonna take a little bit of time, but I think we need to sort of figure it out.
I think that's good. Post something.
So we wanna do it as a full board or as a subcommittee?
Well, I think if you post meetings, if you're gonna have
If
meetings,
we post it, that's fine.
post it with the tenants.
Yep.
And like in conservation, if you have a site visit, it's available, goes to the meeting. And not, that maybe all the board will go to the meeting with Brinley or here or whoever.
As long as we post it.
Everybody has schedules, I'm sure y'all.
And as long as we post it, it'll be fine. Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then before the meeting, then we just have to
Yeah.
be within,
Yeah.
who's not going there.
No, we don't have to, as long as we post it as a meeting, we're fine. We don't have to
Post the
worry.
But if
meeting,
we say,
yeah.
all of us or something with the racetrack or something, nobody shows up to the meeting from the board. I'm saying, we have to talk within ourselves and say we're
Do they even
going
have
to.
those anymore?
Well,
Do they even have those anymore?
What happens is, I can just say what happened in conservation. We said we're gonna have a site visit on, they said a date and a time, if you wanna do that we're gonna come to Brinley on Tuesday the 10th and whatever you wanna do. And then, the secretary just touches base with people to find out who's going to, make sure people are coming. ahead of time.
That works, I think. Perfect. Yeah. Did I take a vote on
Is
that?
that a problem?
So it'll be a meeting.
We're gonna post it as a meeting, but that's be the only thing on the
With-
agenda.
Okay.
For the tenants. One here and one in Burnley.
Yes.
I can check to see if some other housing authorities have a policy already done that.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah, okay. Fine, okay, then we don't have any.
So let's, was the chairwoman, like, so say the meeting's right now, number 10, and they say they're representing, you know, I said, okay, what's this about? What do you want to know about cameras? What's the questions?
So we just tell them,
How's everybody gonna sort of-
just what we said, we're looking for feedback. What do you think is good, what do you think is bad? You know,
Is the policy good? Is it?
well, we don't
too
have
many
a policy.
cameras? Are there too many cameras? You're comfortable with the cameras?
Could you
That's
do,
agreed?
I don't need to say anything, but could you do a survey like we did the smoking thing?
No, I mean, I was thinking that too.
Do a survey, what's.
Another thing too, the thing is, the shit too, is with that, could we incorporate cameras and parking, because we have issues with people parking when they're not supposed to. It makes it harder for her to do their job. And then Bob sees it with snow removal, so can we have feedback from people
Policies,
on,
policy.
Well, that's the whole point of the meeting.
on cameras
So
and,
it'll be and there won't, there'll be no determinations, but there'll be an interaction with the tenants so that we know what they're thinking. And,
If they show up.
right,
Well, that's why,
I'm sure some of them will,
that's
some,
why Diane suggested a survey.
we could do
For
that
them to
too.
fill it out.
I mean, we did that with the
It should-
smoking and.
where should the survey be sent
Yeah.
to?
Well, it would be sent to
Should
the
be
tenants,
sent
so
with,
what,
it's sent with sealed envelope,
The tenant.
then opened by a board member, that's on that subcommittee. The people might be scared to sign up over that, though. So-
I know,
So
A
let's-
smoking thing,
let's-
they can sign your names.
let's
Sign up,
have,
but that's what I'm saying, but it's on a sealed envelope.
let's have the meeting, and then if we decide we'd rather do a survey, we can just do that. See if people show up.
Well, yeah. I mean, if they're getting complaints and people are concerned about the cameras, someone must be gonna show up.
No, I don't know, but, you know.
But I don't.
Like the employee part,
Well, that's a whole
that's
different,
my nerve more than
That would have to be a decision of the board.
a tenant.
The tenants would have no say in that.
yeah, yeah.
So,
The employees don't get, they think the parking and everything.
but it'd be good to get some feedback.
Right?
You know, I mean, I don't even know who these,
Often?
there was two tenants having a conversation, I had no idea who they were, I just overheard the conversation, so it'd be good to,
Do we meet with the tenants on, do we have scheduled meetings that they,
They're gunshot hits.
they don't?
Like some housing authorities have what they call a tenant council.
Yeah.
But just some people get frustrated because they know it's gonna involve a lot of work and it doesn't happen. But that'd be the best thing, then, that tenant council representative comes, sits with us, comes up with issues, and then we deal with issues. I mean, I know we have to fund a few bucks for them, we have to find them a room to meet, but other than that, I'd love to have a tenants council. If there was interest, that they could come and say their mind, or be concerned about getting bounced on it, right?
If you could get the people to be interested enough to attend, to want to work in council.
That's what I'm saying, I don't know. I'd like to see it, doesn't mean it's gonna happen.
Need them.
Yeah, you have to get people interested, and then you have to supply them with an office space and a phone and copier and everything.
so,
We could do that.
yeah, so that's a different discussion, but. All right, so moving on, I need to apologize to you, I didn't realize this was on the end of the agenda, the smoking, that we're gonna have a conversation about now.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry.
I
I
don't
would
know
have
if she
moved it
wants
up,
to come back in, I know she hasn't.
I would have moved up if I had known,
So we're having that conversation now?
right now.
I can give mine, but she probably should give hers, maybe I should give her.
No, we understand, you just wanted to hear what's going on, we're waiting for an update ourselves, so that's what's going on right now.
If you wanna grab that person, we'll wait a couple of minutes.
Yeah, we can move on,
Oh,
if you want.
With that electric motion, if there's any,
so you're not
Please.
gonna listen to what I have?
Yes,
You-
you said that you wanted her to come as well.
about any issue
What are you?
about a tenant.
Yes, listen,
Okay. My concern is that we have people, a couple of people that are smoking downstairs. It comes up into my apartment, and I know it's coming up to the one next to me. And she doesn't want to complain, and I haven't complained for a long time, except for one time I had asked, about maybe 3 years ago, if they could put something from under my window over that certain area on the outside at the congregate, and they said it couldn't be done, okay? The thing is that the people that are beside them, like Arlene, John, and I don't know what, have complained about it. I don't know if Melinda has heard about it or not, that I don't know, but I know they said they were complaining about it. I've been having some lung issues lately, and and it comes up into my apartment, it just, I can sit in my chair in the living room, which is far away from the window, and I can smell it. And it's annoying, and I don't want those smells in my apartment, and I'm tired of it. And when I ask these girls not to smoke, and you have this thing that's supposed to be 25 feet away from the building, they just ignore the maintenance man, they ignore me, they ignore anybody who has complained about it.
So we heard the complaints, I think it was 2 meetings ago here, and it's on our agenda, and it's going to give us an update about what's going on with that. Correct? All right. So let's get the update and we'll go from there.
Okay, and the other thing is that you're saying about the gazebo or a little thing for them over there. In the wintertime, in cold weather, when they go out to smoke, there are a few who do that. And I just feel that they should have a little more, probably some plexiglass or something around it, even if it's not put up there all season, but during the winter time or the real rainy time, that it could go up, you know, just so they could have a little bit of warmth or just out of the elements, that they could have their cigarette and then, or whatever they're smoking, and go back to their apartments or whatever. And I mean, I really think you guys should take that serious, because they're standing out there in an umbrella, and I see one gentleman stand out there.
Walk.
So,
Can't even walk.
No, they can walk.
Really?
Yes.
You think John can walk?
all right.
John?
Let's not mention people's names.
No,
I know.
We're gonna hear from,
That's what I'm talking about. Mark
They
walks.
need that.
Right. Mark walks, and
we're gonna hear from the executive director.
Right.
He's gonna tell us what's going on, and so just hold tight for a few minutes to let Linda tell us what's going on.
Okay.
Okay?
Is there people smoking in this building?
Yes. There are.
And that is where you're getting the smoke in your room?
No, they're smoking outside, but the smoke comes up. There's a breeze, it just comes right up.
They're smoking on, you know, the handicap ramp to go up to the
I
congregate.
understand.
There's a
Second,
little
it's what-
porch there.
Yeah, hold on.
And they all sit out there and smoke, which is not 25 feet from the building, and the smoke goes upstairs.
All right, so let's get that up
Yeah, let's find out.
and find out what's going on.
That's what.
Because that's why it's on the agenda, because of the complaints a couple of, 2 meetings ago? Anyway,
Yeah.
go ahead.
Yeah.
So all the people that do smoke, letters went out to them again, telling them that they needed to comply with the policy. I also called the attorney to discuss with her how we can do it for lease enforcement. She was wrapping up with quite a few things that she had on her plate, and then she's been on vacation for the past couple of weeks, so she just came back, so it's on my schedule to call her tomorrow, because she said once she got back, we would set a date, she would come into the office, and letters would be sent out to those tenants and have them brought in to have a meeting with her and I.
Very good.
Yeah.
If this shelter or whatever it is, the smoking shelter, where would you people recommend that it be placed?
It's not a shelter, they placed benches where the flagpole is right out front. There's an island.
Right.
And they put benches there for the smokers to go to and smoke. But if
Is
it's
that
raining,
convenient for you people?
well, it's convenient in good weather, but if
Yeah.
it's not good weather,
I mean, I saw a gentleman sitting there in pouring rain just to have a cigarette. There's no need for that. That should be covered. You know, I mean, I'm sorry, I just feel so with the smoke, as I did at one
If
time.
it's affecting your health, we have to look into it.
Yeah, and
End of story.
there's another lady
Work
where,
with working on
she sits
But if
out
they
there
do
by
the
herself.
smoking thing, it's not affecting their health.
Is that what you're talking about, that they're gonna, the maintenance guys are gonna be doing, putting up over the smoking area?
Yeah, over where the two
But
benches.
I'm
that's
talking
gonna-
about
that's
putting
being
some
addressed.
plexiglass or something
Yeah.
around
Yeah,
it.
just saying,
the
that's being
doorway.
addressed now.
It's gonna be addressed,
All right.
before the end of the summer.
Oh,
Whatever,
but we don't need it before.
we only have two
that.
maintenance guys, so as long, whenever they can fit it in.
Yep.
And we have a lot of outside projects, and it's just getting nice weather, so we're just getting started, so.
A timeline, that, Mr. Chair? In the summer, September.
So what are we in now, April? What do you think realistically?
I mean, you gotta remember, the 90 days weather,
I
I
can't see
saw
why it wouldn't be in June, beginning of July.
No, you did not, you heard it was negative.
End of June, beginning of July.
That sounds good, please, please work on that.
It's in the works.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And the two that are there, that's doing this, they just don't listen to anybody at all, at all. They ignore the maintenance guy, they ignore everybody.
And that's another reason why we have the cameras, so if you can give
Right.
me a date and time that they were out there, I can go on the camera, because when I called them and say, you can't be smoking it, I wasn't out there,
Oh, yeah.
it was someone
Well,
else.
it's just,
So that's why I can go on the camera and I can say, yeah, you were there.
yeah,
But I thought that camera doesn't hit
Yeah.
the patio. If they're in that little cove sitting down smoking, the camera doesn't catch them.
right.
Yeah,
I'll
we've
double
tested
check
it.
I'll
All right.
double check it.
Yeah.
Mr. Chairman,
All right, good.
I'd like to make a motion that if there's a tenant issue, then it goes on the agenda, it's the first thing we speak about after roll call.
Yes.
Well, this
I
Commons
agree.
is up there, right?
Yeah, I want to, do we need a motion? I think that's fine to do that. I set the,
We have a second.
so I'm okay with that. Yeah, we'll do that.
And we're okay with that. We don't need to sit here
Exactly.
for the rest of the whole meeting. That's why we came down early today.
We will do that. Well, it is on the agenda for visitors' comments.
Okay.
It's the second, actually the first thing, roll call and that.
Oh.
So any other issues like the smoking issue, we'll put right underneath that.
Beautiful.
All right?
Good to me.
Moving on.
Thank you.
All right, so moving on.
Yes.
Other business, anybody?
Other business, either last year or year before, they did a walkthrough with the executive director, and it was railings outside were supposed to be replaced. And they were a lot worse shape than they were last year or year before. And they were supposed to be fixed that year, while it was last year or year before. Like, then on Monday, going to be replaced
Where are the railings?
outside here.
We just bought the stock to do
See
that.
that? We did like 3 years ago, no pickups on the railing.
I don't even
There's
know.
a few of them just like that.
Oh, on the, across the, I
Looks
guess,
like Katie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So,
let me ask this question. I'm just looking at that real quick, right? Do we actually even need those? Is there a requirement for that, height-wise?
remember what was last year or year before?
Right.
Two of them have been fixed because the units were vacant, so the guys did it when they were there. The stock has been purchased for the rest of them, and that's one of their summer projects.
There's a lot, I mean, it looks like trout or something.
So I'm just looking at them, I'm wondering if, do we even need them, right? Can we take them off? Is there a reason why they're there? Might, that way,
I mean, the two-bedroom family units
Oh,
don't
yeah.
even have them.
Right.
Which is directly across as a two-bedroom.
so that's what I'm thinking,
It's the
right?
three-bedroom unit.
Would you be okay with that, Tom? I
So,
mean, I don't care if we fix them, but I'm thinking,
I care if we fix them.
no, I'm saying, we either gotta fix them or take them down. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah, if it's above, I don't think it's 3 steps, it's 3 steps you need a rail, that's under that, you don't need a rail.
Yeah, so that, but it looks like, that's what I point. It looks like it's, I think it's 30 inches, right, you need a rail. And that doesn't look like no 30 inches.
My
And then there's a
thought
bunch of
is,
us, so we
you're
can ride
opening
that,
up
looks like
can
that.
of worms. We take them down, they're all gonna be complaining that we took them down. They want them. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's the only thing.
That's
We have the stock
So fix it.
to fix them. We just purchased it as one of the summer projects that's gonna get done. Brian was saying, should we just remove them altogether? And I said, that's probably gonna be another can of worms because we remove them. They're all gonna be in complaining that they want them.
So just fix them. I'm okay with that. All right. Anybody else, other business? I have two things. One is, I've been getting an email from DHCD, keeps saying update the DocuSign. Do you know anything about that?
You keep getting it
Yeah,
because it's already been signed, and I've got the final signed copy after they signed it.
so, I don't have my phone, but I can show you that.
Did you get one just recently?
It's coming in off and on. And I try to go on to see what it is, and I can't get to that point.
Because it's not there, because it's been completed. So I'll have to talk to the person that was sending them out.
I can tell you who it is. I'll have to look.
I think it's Cassie, I would say it is.
So that's one thing. And the other thing is I got an email from an advocate from an employee. Did you receive the same email?
Mhm.
So I'm not sure the procedure for the complaint. Do you have to hear it first before it comes to us? How does that work?
Well,
I got an email from an advocate employee requesting, I forget exactly how, it was very difficult to read, it's, and to follow, because, but the gist of it is he's looking for a meeting. So I'm not sure,
the gist I got from it is they don't want a meeting with me.
but if that's the procedure, then they have to do that, right? I get that, but we need to follow the procedure, whatever that is, and then the first step is in a meeting with you? Okay, so
But I beg to differ with the information that's in here.
so that's fine. We have to have the follow the procedure, have the first meeting, and then it can come to us. All right? Anybody else got anything on the other business?
No, was that, the only thing I thought of, last meeting we made here, either it was in our notes or one of the board members mentioned to me that there was somebody in a meeting here that they were insulted because they got shut off out of a conversation. And that just needs to be, refresh my mind on what did happen and if it did happen.
Oh, go ahead.
So there was a discussion being had by the board, and a tenant wanted to speak up with their comment, and they were rudely told that it was written out of their concern.
Okay, was I the one that said it? Because if it is, I want to apologize. I didn't think they were, but just,
It wasn't here.
okay.
Did anybody read the video? You look at the video?
No, I didn't.
Because I'm the one that's being accused of that, but my conversation was with the chairman at the time, not the tenant. So I don't understand how the tenant can think that I said that. So, is it not the tenant that thinks that? Was it you that thought?
Who was the tenant?
Can you send a copy of the video?
Yeah, she already did.
And
And who was it?
I didn't look at it. Yeah.
the email that went out after with all the stuff that was requested, that was.
Yeah, you did send that. I
And then John said he couldn't open it in person.
I know, and that's saying it's settled, yeah, so I don't know.
So I haven't had the chance to look. So
Okay.
I'm assuming John, did, but like I said, I haven't talked to him in a bit, so.
Could you send me a refresher tape of it, one back in, how long into the tape it is? So I don't have to sit, watch an hour and a half worth of tape,
Okay,
or an hour, or whatever it is. It'd be 5 minutes, it'd be easy.
You need a motion to adjourn?
Yes.
And a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Good. You made it.
All in favor? Aye, opposed, unanimous. Thank you.
Again, congratulations. Diane, how you doing?